Assalamu alaikum. This is Abul Hasan from 25 base CSE. Today I here to present about Kali Linux penetration testing. Now I present the whole process one by one. First we see the topic list, mastering the window, bus scripting, network host scanning, internet information gathering, social network attacks, advanced economic phase, exploration phase, web application vulnerable, web testing, Linux freewheeling, Windows freewheeling expression. Pivoting the lateral movement, creating the hacking and hash hacking, reporting assembly language, programming with Python, present automatic with Python. Now I discuss all method one by one. First software is mastering the terminate window. Kali Linux can be submitted to simple word terminate window. If you mastering your terminate windows skill, then you will be one of those the ethical hacker. The software you will learn to the essential terminate window, so you can start the using Kali Linux like boss. Here what with the software cover Kali Linux file system, terminate Windows Basic, managing user and the group, manipulating the file folder and handling in remote connect. Kali Linux system managing, deleting the dealing with networking the Kali Linux. First is the Kali Linux file system. The directionary structure. Your Kali OS is based to Unix. The file system has hierarchy standard FHS, and that how to the direction the standard insert Kali Linux. In Windows in Windows the root of directionally, but the Kali Linux forward the slash. Do not confuse the root of directionary root user home directionary, which is slash root, because they are two different things. The letter of home telegram channel. First the Kali the cd and Kali the slash is is bin boot deb etc etc home into the image in intrat.image old lib 32 lib 64. Next topic, terminal Windows basic command. Open the terminate window from desktop. You can use to control alter and key combining the insertion of opening and the application. From his icon using the mouse cursor, you want to get help for any command that you want to execute. Just offend that it's help to it. For example, if you want to see a different option and command, and just you just type the Telegram channel and help to your terminate window. You get all help needed to regarding this tool. And the next in this next command you will heal the host of H, and it does not work the cat command. Next with the Kali some command. Kali.cat.a/cat individual option H try cat help to help for more information. Kali.cat help uses the cat option file. Concatenation file standard output usual equivalent BET B number non blank number non empty number output line, and equivalent to show in the display, and each line and number all output line as a sequential blank and empty output line. T show the types of display TV character you ignored. B show the non-frame previews. M notation help display the help of exit. Next discuss the manipulating user. User command low freewheeling. The user must prevent command sudo executing the system command following the command root. This 18 gigabyte 8589934 or 5920 byte 167772160 sector. Text model BM where virtual as unit sector 1 into 500 to 12 and 512 byte. Kali next file and folder command root kali echo text greater than and text dot h kali next hash is the graph text dot h. Next topic is manipulating file in Kali. Assembly all command together in terminate window root kali touch text dot txt root kali the echo issue text greater than text dot text. ASCII text GIF achievement achieve to create a compression.gif from file gif compare.gif file to extend command.gif file. And next topic is manipulating direction on Kali. Kali to mount in the USB folder, use a step display the text of using the SB command, creating new dictionary to method to mount the mount to USB mount command. Remote connection in Kali RDFE used to connect it the remotely to Windows US. There are many times of during your engagement where you want to connect the remotely to Windows system to get the job done. Next, the established connection. All the display all stored. The take note the option is very verbose, and the numerical do not revolve the name, the reviews, the command. You show the IP address and follow. It display the TCP connection and it view the display the connection. Next, the software to bus scripting. Here. What you are going to this software printing the screen using bars, using variable, using scripting parameter handling, using input and creating the function. First, printing to scan bash. There are two common way to write the terminate command line output using the bash script. The first simple method is to use echo command. Echo message to friend. The second method is the friend to command. This command is line to flexible. Command the s string, the decimal percentage f floating percentage x, hexadecimal percent slash n new line current written. Next is the variable. Consider a variable as the storage area where you can the save thing, the string and the number. The goal of records the over again and again in the program. You connect the application provide the programming language. They declare a variable. You give it the name of below. The name the variable can only contain an alphabetical character or underscore. Slash in bin and bash simple program with the variable. I'll print the remote to the IP address router. Next the script parameter. Let the create a simple calculator at to at number slash bin bash simple calculator at to number telegram channel telegram to number first the parameter number one variable number one is equal to one store slash to the second parameter with the number two to the addition result total variable total sum one plus number one plus number two print percentage total the total is the total. Next the user input. Another way to interrupt you supply in input the shell script to use the read function. Bin bash the read feed please enter the first name first name read feed please enter you the last name print full name is the print. Next, the condition loop. The condition, if you the condition takes the following the pattern, and if compression, then the true do something else, the false do something of f. Next, after three, the network host of scanning. This after cover following and the basic of network identify, leave host, port, scanning, service economy, operating system, and find printing and f scripting engine. First, the basic of networking TCP. The translation control protocol TCP is the main used to the network integration. TCP is used to the call the three way to handling the connector. First to the TCP session. First to the TCP session is the client to the SYN fact in the server. It is essential to understand to connect the TCP and the UDF. The user database protocol is connected the network connection ICMP. It is the control the message to ICMP the testing the connectivity. Then the identify the live host fing. When you are execute the fing command, your Kali host will send ICMP echo request to destination, and afterward the target you will respond to the ICMP echo replay ARP. Address resolution protocol is the FM testing utility map into the physical maps addressing, and it will be ICMP requested to the NAF in the ICMP the block of the using at the time request. Finally, it is the request, and then the port of scanning service, that is a TCP port of scan. And NF will execute this type of port scan by default, and NF is as IP address to memorize. You can control the option as the same of Samantha. Always the thing about the same. The scanner with the supply with this option will send this SYN. Basically, using of NAF, it will spread the three, and it will be scan of 1000 port. Next, the saving the innovation. The first of the doing the scan and the version scan will take longer, more normal of scanning the identify and the servicing type. Next option version light, version all the description. 9 and the highest of intensity of different 7 default 7 in equivalent to version and identity 2 and equivalent to version identity 9. Next, the operating system fingerprinting. To get the job done, you will need to add the option the direction the operating system name will attempt to identify the target operating system by spreading the packet receiving the host. Next, that NF scafing engine. The next scafing engine contains a set of additional functionalities. It makes the NF work like boss. Another the default discovery was the external pressure. Next, next to the DNC by force, there are many tools of the DNC domain name using the BART force methodology, WWWBP and proved FEIDB and scanning mail, DS zone transfer. Scanning DS and the server record to another DNS lab server is called is the DNS transfer. Next, the software for internal information gathering. Here, what you will to learn the software. Use the internet scan engine to get your result. Use Slosh. Use Google. See how to the display the information about the domain. Who's the database. See how to the essential tool of Visitives Linux. First, the internet search engine to add to the Telegram channel. Google search engine Google.com. Shodan online scanner. Shodan IFIM. Shodan is the great online tool of the will the scan of internet for you. Google queries. Google is the powerful search engine that is allow to find information. Google gives you to the ability to query database and advantage the filter criteria. With the information to gathering using the Kali Linux. If the file the common understand is a common the commonly determined to the associated unless you find it to yearly. The methodology mail to go the great effective of the engine. You will put the note book and about the tool of you will need to job done. It's after 5 social engine of attack. Sending the phishing email, the sending the equation using the USB rubber duck for social engineering attack. So send an email. First, you need to send really account to the some replace and to the server you situate for you. The social engineering, the to social engineering attack the penetration testing, and third the modular update to server engineer, and the update to set the confidence and help to get it. Next to the sending an email using the Python. Python is the great language to the done when testing. Sterling and it's the time of rebuild most beneficial. It is the social of the engineering. One selection option the social engineering attack website attack vector, the creation website attack bed method. Next, the failure load in the lister. The payload is the execution what is allowed to the connected to a listener. The goal is to have the TCP connected to between the victim host. A bind shell. The bind shell is the attacker to connectivity from Kali Bictram mechanism where the listener has already been connected. User port 9999. The reserve shell. The selection select option 1 select engineering attack. Select option 4 creating the payload. The listener selection the Windows the shell reverse. Software 6 advanced the phase FTF, SSH, TF, 3 Microsoft SQL, Oracle Database Server, MySQL. First with the FTF, FTF file, the protocol FTF is used to transfer the file between the remote of something. The login, the create and send the clear text file. The termination is not the request. Next is for 22. Creation and BART force friending a public key to automation a key the file of the server. Advanced of the BART of porting technique use the enumerating module called SSH. Identify the maturation ICP address, set the remote SSH port number. Port of the talent 423. The talent is the old way to the connected the remote of using the TCP port. Login the set of clearest text to the command and the workflow. FUF3 FUF3 the or 30 open the maybe the server of FUF3 is SSL. BART of FUF3 email account the best way to the advantage burner to FUF is to the able to external Hydra Oracle database server is for the BART the perfect the creation the identify the install the version of the exploration. Next, the MySQL. The MySQL database is the server TCP 410.33.36.06. The same concept to the animations, the BART of force creation and the basic animation in the scan and if advanced economy scan of MySQL, the Barnet force of MySQL and one of SSB we can use to do the SSB logging to explore the Hydra of SMB protocol because it is the gives a fewer false because information. Software 7 exploring the flash. This after the following the vulnerability estimation, FTF servicing exploration, SSH servicing exploration, email service exploration, vulnerability estimation. The automation of vulnerabilities meant the concept of using the process scanner to find the vulnerability from the table the Nesium to the Tenable.io. Group your assist network device IoT device user host dev server table to phone. Next, the scanning of OpenBS. Here is the workflow to you will the scanning using the OpenBS. Create the assist group you will the host. Check your report after the scanning in the conflict. Create the scanner text, give the text name and description, select the group of target name. Next, the exploration, the research. Check you the exploiting the meta floating FTF logging, host meta stroking local username and machine password any password exploring SSH service. SSH service the version open SSH4 SSH4H8 UB Ubuntu 1 ability creation username user password user. Next, the surface of the clearest information. If you remember from the previous software, you will turn into the next the command with the clearest Email server exploration. So the email username, the password of email account, the address of the mail server. Next, the docker exploration. The Kali Linux 172 172.1.16.0.1102 Ubuntu Linux 172 160.1.0.1013. Result shell bash will be difficult to execute if you firewall L has the reserved rules bash.i. Next, the software 8 web application vulnerabilities cross slide of scripting SQL injection command injection. First, with the web application vulnerabilities, the black and the web application vulnerabilities using the different programming language. As you the security for professional, you must know the basic of web application vulnerabilities. Also, you should learn how to the build web application from A to Z. Cross-site scripting, scripting is allow for the two common the scanning when you the XSS. Replacing the XXS stored the XXX. This the store XSS store the XSS the similar replacing one the SQL injection. Query is the database using the selection command by first the logging the phase of the statement to statement SQL, manipulating the data by using the insert. Next, the Crocs slide of request for ng. The Crocs slide of request the for ng is the exploration by taking advantage and the user section to execute the post. From request that they were the behave. File uploading the vulnerabilities are the exploring by being able to upload many file to target web server. In effect, is to the goal to is to the able is to upload to web shell that can be executed in one victim web server. Next, after 9 web pen testing in this security software development life cycle. In this after topics web pen testing the banner script for web application web application tool web application manual the checklist. First, the web application, the exploration web using the browse slide. How to the browse slide for understand to proxy. How to the use to the target test understanding the reference and how to the use the interacting. First, the referring the tab. This step the helpful when you want to manipulate during the payload before sending the web server. The internet trip. Button the furnace login phase enumerating the username, enumerating any UID type. Next the more enumeration SCP all follow text. Identify the web server version and the machine to manipulating the server. Assess the network device and the host server and middleware application. Next the kernel exploring. And when we want to target host, identify the kernel version, find the meshing of exploration kernel version, transferring the explorer to the payload version. Next, the SUID exploration. The some command define the command bin the amount amount bin amount bin ping 6 bin su bin ping bin in fus amount. User bin crash, user bin expects. Next, the overriding the password user. Check the current user has the right definition the file. Cron the basic the first method you will the cron the direction. Next, the software 11. Windows prevailing the description. This software cover the following topic: how to the in motion Windows operating system, how to the transfer file into Windows the terminal shell into the exploration, Windows Geo the expression, the prevailing the expression automatic tool. First the Windows the this is the command some command line user gets greater than get the Oscar Sonico the OS architecture 64-bit. Next, the Windows host use some share drive to try to access from your window. Limited the command from coffee. Use my favorite option to download the execute the file. Use the PowerShell. Next, the interaction Windows service. To list the configurations of your service, to edit the setting the service, to stop the service, to start the service. Expression text generally to exploit the weakness. Mutually search for the suspend, script, check your the connect, check your or permission to see the covert. Next is after 12, a pivoting the lateral movement. This after the covert, understanding the Windows password hash and dumping the Windows password, the remoting forwarding, dynamic forwarding, Windows ANTL hash, the password limited, the maximum 14 character password, not case sensitive. If the password feature 14 character, it is the hash to 7 character check. If the password less than the 7 character, only the first 7 character will be hashed. Dynamic port, if you the in this code illusion the is already command is June. Dynamic port forwarding, another feather all eliting by will use to call the frog fish any tool after the command. This after 3 the cry photography, the hash of creation. This after the will be about the following basic of cryptography, hashing, cryptography, and using a hash card use. One way to hash function. Hash can be applied to the way to variable box input data, and the hash output must be the fixed length regarding the to size to input size. For foretelling the far fast the output size in the easy to compute. Also the output the result should not be resolved the original state. H is equal to Hx. This output H is called the disguessed and the checksum. H is the hashing the algorithm. The X is the input of data. Next, the scan hash algorithm. SHA-24, SHA-256, SHA-384, SHA-50. Scanning the password hash to store the password security. You need to follow the guideline to do UMDF, SSH, and the password. User SSH2, SSH3, free ready. Use the scroll that against the password bar force attack. Creating this cat with the hash cat, you when you come to checking you tool the choice of the bust, like you told you can always the help the tool you the option of trying to sum you do the attack mode 1 string starting word list, attack mode 2 combinator, attack mode 3 marks, attack mode hybrid. Next, after sorting the reporting. This after following the present reporting the client and the score or the severity finding common vulnerability the scoring the system attack vector. This is called the even when you attack the can exploring a vulnerability network, and this option the select when you the vulnerability the access the from adjusting this option the select when you explore the successful the same the injury of the level. Then the chapter 15, the assembly language, the reverse of engineer. Basic the assembly language, CPU register and the assembly introduction data type and the memory message. Index register, another type of the register, the index register, the scope of index SI, the destination of index SI. The assembly instruction, so it is the assembly instruction, the confused the addressing the memory to the left following the of the code below. Then the command the instruction and to execute the C2. Finally we have the operation. Sometimes you to operand the first movement little Indian. Little Indian is the concept that we will to see the buffer overflow for the time of begin the importance of understand that is the Intel of CPU architecture and the thing of make the software 16 buffer stack overflow. Basic the stack, how to the exploring the stack overflow. Long story short, a stack is used to allocate the short term storage for the function parameters and the local variable of that function. Important to know that new to stack the cake create every time of you run the function. Next, the push in instruction. The register value of 0589 FCC at to top of the stack to the pointer ESV move to you move up to the well when we say after the means of lower address and the sum of the 8 of stack address and move upward. Fee instruction, the instruction fee ex, then the value of 0589 FCC, we will remove all that of stack. At the same time, the value of 0589 FCC, they remove the exception. Stack overflow, developer will not be able to see the stack overflow higher than unless we enter into it something they fixed it before. Next, quote void coffee declare the array of character buffer 15 character the buffer measures. Lab overflow for following the example, the section the different tools of buffer overflow explosion. First testing one, the step the see the variable the buffer overflow like until the test the if it offend first the two students and payload to see if the server crash. Page 3 the context on EIF we are adding to random 5000 character to show the EIF important for a test EIF to 2003 and we plus 5000. See the SOM socket socket to connect it RCBS as the centers dot close. Then after 17 programming in with Python. How to the learning this Python, how to install the Python and the beginning the Python. Basic of Python. If you want to develop a hardware, the you need to the div to the C++ assembly language. Now the come to the categories of pen testing, debugging the Python scripting. It is the point of you developed Python to your pen testation goal. When you are you get the needed developer IDE. It's a common comment of Python to add the Python the hash variable number will the store of digit, string will store of text, list will store of array collection, the dictionary will the store of key. Next the list is the variable connection. Variable is buffer type. Each the list of has the index number of 0. Buffer list is item you can change the connect of the list variable to get the job done. You just need the index. Returning value in some case you want to your function to return the some variable. For example, you want to return the service name based to the port of number. DEF get the service name port. Service port is to 21 FTPS to SSD 18 HTTPS 400 HTTPS. Now after 18, last after pen test automation with Python. Pen test reward. This application we will use to the software the called the Fantaston test robot. This tool the application advantage of OS application workflow variable the info test scan the host a photo of scan load and the 22. The Python package. Python is the script of install package. In the screen session 2 you will be beginning the Python 3 the software the Python 3 in the software you will need to install PIP3 Kali Linux and the menu attacking the creation and the saving, creating the class of called the animation, creating a method inside the prevision class and the start to attack phase. Thank you for watching this video. Assalamu alaikum.